on to Dave Christian now. Dave, good evening.
Evening, Ed.
So, this weekend, North 1 West, let's start with Douglas at home to Keswick. What do you see happening here?
Well, there's must-win games and there's must-win games. Keswick not having a good season. They've been promoted. They're a little bit out of their depth. They've just won 1 from 13. They're travelling to Portishead. Douglas have to wipe the floor with them, quite basically. Douglas have had a really bad run of results since the end of November. I think they've only won once. And they've dropped from 4th place down to 9th, and they've just got to put the brakes on that fall, stabilise themselves and start climbing back up that table again. Home game against the bottom side is a fabulous opportunity for them. They're not that far away. They could gain a place tomorrow instantly because their nearest rivals, Penrith, are away at league leaders Wilmslow. That's going to be an opportunity for Douglas to pull their stops out, get past Penrith in the table, and then set their sights on the next goal. And they've just got to keep building like that. They're not too far away from the promotion places, but a couple of poor results in the next few weeks, and that'll be a promotion prospects gone, and they'll just be clawing around for a mid-table finish. Squad looks strong tomorrow. Some big boys in the forwards. Seth Waterworth in there. He's a man mountain. And in the back line, proper pace and power. Guy Wood, Ethan Pocklington, and Lance Wiley, little pocket rocket there in the middle. Those boys are going to cause Keswick some problems. We've had a little bit of a bit of rain in the week. The pitch isn't going to be brilliant, but I think home advantage, decent crowd down there at Portishead. I think Douglas should pick up a bonus point win.
Fingers crossed for them. Lancashire, Cheshire 1. We've got down here Ramsey against Garstang, but Ramsey away?
Ramsey are away at Garstang. Yeah, apologies. That's probably my heavy-handed typing.
That is quite all right, Dave.
Ramsey are away. They're on the red eye tomorrow morning away to Garstang. Game will kick off at 1:45, so hopefully we'll have some score updates during Saturday Live tomorrow. It's not looking good for Ramsey. They've had what can only be described as a pretty appalling season. 1 draw from, I think, the 11 games they've played so far. They're destined to be in the bottom half of phase 2 of this competition. League's going to split in 2 at the end of the month. Ramsey in the bottom half. There's a chance for them to avoid relegation. They're going to be with another 3 clubs who are of a similar playing standard, and having watched some of the games at the Murrick, they're not too far away from some of them, so there's something there to aim for. I don't really see them getting points at Garstang tomorrow. It's a bit of a makeshift side. There's a heavy sick list right now. I could go through it and probably pick out the bones of a pretty good team of what's not available, but they'll go away. They'll give it a shot. If they can come back with a bonus point of some sort, it'll be a little feather in the cap, but no, probably this is going to be a Garstang win.
Injuries or not, there's always that challenge, isn't there, when you go away to get the players together. So that may be a challenge for Vagabonds tomorrow as well in terms of their lineup. They're away to Oxton Parkonians.
Yeah, Parkonians have been down in the doldrums, down at the bottom of Division 2, and they've taken some fearful beatings this season, particularly away from home. But if you isolate the results and just pick up the home results, they've had a couple of wins. They beat 3rd place Oswestry last week out there at the Martin Curfew Memorial Ground on the Wirral, and they've had some close results against Old Bedians and Liverpool University students who are up there at the top end of the table. So they're not to be taken lightly at home. It's I'm going to say it's a horrible place. It's actually quite a nice place. They're an incredibly friendly bunch of guys, but the pitch is a little bit sticky, particularly when it's been wet. It's not going to be a pleasant experience there for Vagabonds. And the guys at Parkonians, there's some wise old headed in there who know what they're doing, and it's going to be very, very difficult for them. Vagas, though, changed pretty much an unchanged team from last week. A couple of changes going to beef things up a little bit. Rob Martin probably going to start in the second row. That'll give a bit more weight in the scrummage. Tom Gascoigne will move from second row to the back row. He'll give him a little bit of pace in the back row as well. And those little fine-tuning adjustments will really help against a forward-orientated side like Parkonians. Vagabonds on paper should win, but it's going to be a close one.
In the Manx Shield, Western Vikings fixture called off, player numbers and a lot of injuries, so that's postponed.
Yep.
But players, as we know, can play for other teams if those teams are short. The game here, really, the massive one is Douglas Celts against Southern Nomads, isn't it?
Yeah, they've got this one. They've got to play each other again in the Manx Cup, and potentially they could meet again in the Cheshire Plate. Nomads have an away fixture against, I think it's Port Sunlight. If they win that one, they've got a home fixture against Douglas Celts in the semi-final. So there's some massive games between these two sides. At the moment, it's advantage Douglas. They look to be the form team. They beat Nomads in the reverse of this fixture. But tomorrow, little pitch at Portishead. It's going to be hard work, I would think, for Nomads. That Douglas pack, the likes of Danny Creer in there, Noel Capewell. There's some big men in the front five that are going to be difficult to move around. If Nomads Nomads can move them around and run the legs off them in 40 minutes, maybe they'll have some opportunities in the second half. Backline's probably even Stevens. They're both looking pretty sharp with some exciting young players in there. It's going to be a cracking game, and that's one we're going to feature on Saturday Live as well.
Okay, so yeah, Dave is going to be there for us tomorrow on the Saturday Live. And finally, in the Manx Shield, Ramsey B face Castletown.
Yeah, Ramsey B's form's been poor, as is the first team at Ramsey, and they've been struggling with numbers for a while. Little Dicky Bird tells me last night, though, it's a strong side. There's a lot of players who are not going to be travelling for the first team and made themselves available to play for second team. So Castletown might be in for a little bit of a tougher game than they originally thought. That said, Castletown have been blown very, very well. A compact little squad. The guys work very well for each other. They're a joy to watch because they like to take the game seriously but have fun at the same time. And the last game I watched was for Castletown was away at emerging Nomads. A cracking little game it was, and unfortunately had to be cut short because of an injury. I think one of the guys broke a collarbone or something like that. And it all got a bit tetchy towards the end, but a fantastic game. They should go well at the Murdoch Park tomorrow, but if Ramsey have got a couple of big players in who can't travel for the first team, it might just even it up, and we might see it a little bit closer than the Castletown win the form book suggests.